In this video, we will share 9 fascinating and intriguing facts about the beautiful city of Paris, the capital of France.
Stay with us until the end of the video and get to know these fascinating facts about Paris. Throughout history, Paris has been at the heart of events that have shaped the history of France. Behind this great history, which has passed through different eras, lies a collection of small stories that bring the legend of Paris to life. The city, with its 8 long-distance hiking trails, Grande Randonnée, offers a unique opportunity to discover the details that make Paris so special and unique.
1. Place de la Concorde, the largest sundial in the world. Walking in Paris requires a special skill. Recognizing small white and red markers in a grand and majestic environment. If you've ever passed by the large Roman numerals on the cobblestones of Place de la Concorde, you should know that these numbers are part of a giant horizontal sundial. The shadow of the famous Luxor obelisk acts as the hour hand of this sundial. This project was first proposed in 1913 by the astronomer Camille Flammarion, but both world wars delayed its realization. Finally, on June 21st, 1999, during the celebrations for the new millennium and the summer solstice, the project was completed. However, this sundial is not entirely accurate, as it only shows the correct time on certain days, such as during the solstices and equinoxes. So, your trusty wristwatch is still the best way to know the time.
2. Colonne de Juillet, the tallest tombstone in Paris. This tall column, standing over Place de la Bastille in the 12th arrondissement, was built between 1835 and 1840 to commemorate the victims of the July Revolution of 1830, July 27th to 29. Beneath this column are the bodies of many revolutionaries who died during those 3 days. With a height of 50.52 meters, it is considered the tallest tombstone in Paris. At its top, there is a golden bronze statue by Auguste Dumont called The Genius of Liberty, depicting a winged angel holding a torch in the right hand and the broken chains of tyranny in the left, soaring into the air.
3. Rue des Degrés, the shortest street in Paris. In the heart of the Sentier district, between the Bonne Nouvelle and Strasbourg-Saint-Denis metro stations, there is a street consisting entirely of a staircase with 14 steps. This street, measuring only 5.75 meters in length, is the shortest street in Paris and was named accordingly. It has frequently been decorated with street art by the Parisian artist Raphael Federici. One of his works, titled Voter, painted in March 2017, shows a man voting with his smartphone, a symbol of the modern era, where everything happens behind this tool, tucked in the pockets of 3 out of 4 French people.
4. Tour Cruel Barbe, the first skyscraper in Paris. Also known as the Albert Tower, located in the 13th arrondissement, this tower was built between 1958 and 1960 and is considered the first real skyscraper in Paris. Standing at 67 meters with 23 floors, it features exposed steel tube frames and a mix of glass and stainless steel panels, placed randomly according to the interior layout. An interesting feature of this tower is that its 6th floor is actually a large terrace, whose ceiling, covering 600 square meters, was painted by artist Jacques Lagrange.
5. Pont Neuf, the oldest bridge in Paris. Although its name means new bridge, the Pont Neuf is actually the oldest bridge in Paris. The name refers to its novelty at the time of its construction, as it was the first bridge without houses on it and featured sidewalks to protect pedestrians from mud and horses, a significant innovation at the time. In 1991, it was added to the UNESCO World Heritage List, along with the banks of the Seine in Paris. Interestingly, according to river flow rules, the Seine should technically be considered a tributary of the Yonne, as the latter has a higher flow rate, 92 m/sec, compared to the Seine, 79 m/sec, where the two rivers meet. Nevertheless, Tradition and history have firmly established the name Seine.
Six. Parvis Notre-Dame, 0 point of French roads. In front of Notre Dame Cathedral, on the pavement of the Parvis, there is a small bronze medallion in the shape of a compass. This famous point marks the official starting point of all roads leaving Paris. When you see the distance from Paris to another city, for example 10 kilometers, it is measured from this specific point.
Seven. Square René Viviani, the oldest tree in Paris. A tree of the Robinia species, planted in 1601 in Square René Viviani, in the heart of the Latin Quarter, has stood for over 5 centuries. It was planted by the botanist Jean Robin, who was a gardener for King Henry IV. Now, this tree stands about 11 meters tall and has a trunk circumference of nearly 4 meters. To keep it standing, its trunk is reinforced with cement and supported by arches. Without this help, it might have already perished.
Eight. Eiffel Tower. A story of fraud. Behind the iconic Eiffel Tower lies an incredible story. Victor Lustig, a con artist who had already gained fame for scamming people across the Atlantic, even tricking Al Capone, read a newspaper article about the high costs of maintaining the Eiffel Tower and decided to sell it to 2 scrap dealers. He posed as a government official in charge of selling metal parts of the tower. One of the buyers, who had mortgaged his house to make the purchase, was too embarrassed to report it to the police, but the second buyer exposed the scam, and Lustig had to flee the country to avoid legal trouble.
9. Metro Saint-Martin, ghost metro stations. With over 300 metro stations and more than 3 billion passengers annually, the Paris metro system is one of the most complex in the world. However, within this system are 16 ghost stations, closed, inaccessible, or unused stations. Examples include the Porte Molitor station in the 16th arrondissement and the Haxo station in the 19th. Although visiting these stations is impossible, it is fascinating to know that history is not only found ahead of us, but also beneath our feet. This is the beauty of walking, a true activity of reverie. Dear friends, thank you for staying with us until the end of this video.
Stay tuned for our upcoming videos. See you in the next video. Goodbye.